It's August 25th, 2020, and this is Sketchworks NewsBrake. The news stops here. I'm Brian Troxel. The Republican National Convention kicked off yesterday, and much like last week's Democratic National Convention, I won't be watching this one either. Last Friday, Postmaster General Louis DeJoy testified before Congress on the ability of the U.S. Postal Service to handle mail-in ballots for this year's presidential election. And, like anything involving the post office, first DeJoy went to the wrong location, then he was misplaced, and when he finally arrived to the correct address, he was damaged. This has not been a good week for members of President Donald Trump's inner circle. A federal indictment accuses former advisor Steve Bannon of fraud. The president's son, Eric, is under investigation in New York for his finances. Plus, presidential advisor Stephen Miller almost forgot he's supposed to stay away from garlic and sunlight. Oh, murder hornets, you are so early to mid-2020. The latest threat in the animal kingdom is the Asian jumping worm. The worms have popped up in Ohio and are ruining the soil for many gardeners. President Trump, in response, plans to declare fishermen to be essential workers. Hunger is no joke, but what is a joke is why one U.S. senator is encouraging her supporters to skip a meal or two. Sketchworks NewsBrake correspondent Tim Millard is about to satisfy your appetite for facts.
Millions of Americans are overweight or obese, and for some, diet and exercise simply doesn't work. They just haven't tried the Senator Martha McSally plan.
McSally made this pitch to her supporters in an effort to raise more cash.
We're doing our part to catch up, to get our message out, but it takes resources. So if anybody can give, I'm not ashamed to ask, just to invest. If you can give $1, $5, if you can fast a meal and give what that would be.
Yes, McSally is suggesting her supporters give up a meal to help her get elected. Her campaign spokeswoman calls this a dumb non-story. This is Sketchworks NewsBrake. We love dumb non-stories. And what's so dumb about helping people lose weight? According to the CDC, some states have obesity rates above 35%. McSally's home state of Arizona isn't doing too bad. I decided to follow the money to see if people are giving up eating to help her win. Her latest campaign fundraising total, $30 million. Her opponent, Mark Kelly, $45 million. Looks like voters are cutting the fat after all. Not me, though. For Sketchworks NewsBrake, I'm Tim Millard. That's good.
Thank you, Tim Millard. That orange Dorito dust coordinates very well with the color of your couch. NASA scientists are watching not one, not two, but 3 asteroids on track to strike Earth a day before the November 3rd elections. The choices for president are so god-awful, the universe is sending 3 asteroids to put us out of our misery. Well, this would be the year to do it. Coronavirus, bubonic plague, murder hornets, Karens, Trump, Biden. Yeah, let's just end this thing. Now, I know it's egocentric to think asteroids are coming to Earth specifically because of us here in the United States, but it all adds up. I've been reading a lot of QAnon. You know what? Now's not the time for that, but you can hear all the facts on my new podcast. I talk at length about all the things they don't want you to know with my special guest, Art Bell. But Trox, Art Bell's dead. So gullible. Gullible. President Trump is responding to the asteroid threat by declaring Bruce Willis to be an essential worker. Jerry Falwell Jr. has resigned as president of the university his father founded. That's because one of Falwell's former business partners says he had a years-long affair with Falwell and his wife. Falwell forgot one of the important commandments for religious figures who participate in practices they publicly condemn. Thou shalt not get caught. And now for a minute and a half of filler, here's NewsBrake correspondent and professional half-asser, Allie O'Neill.
This week I was asked to do this, so that's what's happening. I have no idea what I'm doing, so let's just get into it. I really haven't done any research on this whatsoever. I only vaguely remember what they told me to look for. Okay, Google. Text John Babcock.
Got it. Let me get some more information so I can help you with that.
No, I used to be a big Paris Hilton fan. Like, for reals. Tribeca.
I feel like the whole world thinks they know me.
That's hot. That's hot.
I used to say that a lot.
Sorry, I'm so used to like playing a character that it's like hard for me to like be normal.
No one really knows
I
who I am.
understand that.
I'm always putting on this facade or just like happy, perfect life.
Yes.
And you're happy?
No.
Sometimes.
They say
She gets
trauma.
me.
The
I like that
mind may
dress.
forget.
Oh my
but
gosh,
the
I want to
body
make that
never
dress.
forgets.
What's up, Belgium? Oh, that's right. She was a DJ for a while. I forgot about that.
Just created this brand and this persona and this character and
She's so pretty.
Is that enough?
no.
I really want to see this now. This isn't news. Why did I have to do this?
Thank you, Allie, for taking up some of our running time this week. The residents of a small Swiss town got a tasty surprise this week when a malfunction at a chocolate factory caused the surrounding area to become dusted by a fine sprinkling of cocoa. After being covered by cocoa dust, the town was then covered by powdered sugar, baked at 325 degrees for 20 minutes, and enjoyed with a delicious cup of coffee. American Airlines has announced they are suspending air service to 15 low-demand cities. Those cities include Stillwater, Oklahoma, Sioux City, Iowa, and Kalamazoo, Michigan. So let me ask you this, American Airlines. Just how are people going to get to Stillwater for the Southern National Holstein and Jersey show? Or to Sioux City for this year's third annual celebrity sandwich battle at the Remedy Brewing Company? And how am I supposed to get to Kalamazoo for the second annual Michigan Mac and Cheese Festival? Huh, American Airlines? There's going to be at least one very disappointed mom in Kalamazoo when I don't show up. I'm blaming you, American Airlines. Researchers at the University of Fine Arts in Hamburg, Germany, are offering scholarships for people to do absolutely nothing. Like, literally nothing. The study is on laziness and lack of ambition, and it pays $1,900. Are you listening, Allie O'Neill? All applicants have to do is write an essay answering, what do you not want to do? And why is it important not to do this thing in particular? It's already way too much work for Allie. In a shocking twist for NewsBrake this week, Babs submitted a video. Here now to talk about persistence is NewsBrake correspondent John D. Babcock III.
Brian, I'm interrupting my forest bathing in order to talk to you about one thing. You know, in this life now, these days, when there's so many things that are uncertain and we can't be certain about a lot of things that used to be certain, but now there's uncertainty because there's so much uncertainness, there's one thing that we can be certain about, and that is persistence. The steadfastness that helps us all realize and see and achieve our goals. Case in point. For the past 2 weeks, I've submitted a piece to Sketchworks NewsBrake, which Brian Troxell has resoundingly rejected, as is his right. However, I feel the piece has legs, and so I'm using my persistence to get that piece on this week. So please, with persistence, roll the piece.
Ultraviolet light has been used for many years as a disinfectant by healthcare professionals. Now, a major ceiling fan manufacturer is mounting ultraviolet lights on its ceiling fans with the hopes of ridding a room of viruses and bacteria. That company? Big Ass Fans. If successful, their big-ass idea could possibly kill harmful airborne pathogens up to 99.9%. That's a big-ass percentage.
Currently, Big Ass is testing whether their big-ass ceiling fans with UV lights can kill the coronavirus in a big-ass way. One thing is for sure, our big asses are on the line. And if Big Ass can pull off this big-ass coup, it's a big-ass accomplishment for all of mankind. Thanks for saving our asses, Big Ass! Persistence. For Sketchworks NewsBrake, I'm Tim Millard.
Thank you, Babs. Thank you for proving that my initial rejection of that piece was the correct decision. Twice. The city of Sioux Falls, South Dakota is sad over the loss of a stalk of corn that was growing in a crack in the asphalt. That's the headline, but the story is that someone callously came along and ripped the resilient little fellow out of the ground. This was an act of vandalism against corn, and this is why we need to put our kids back in schools, to keep the little tykes out of trouble. Researchers at the University of California, San Diego have created flip-flops made from algae. As if flip-flops weren't disgusting enough, UC San Diego goes out and makes them out of pond scum? Gross. Hey, how's about getting back to work on finding a vaccine, UC San Diego? The FBI is investigating a data breach in South Dakota that may have compromised the identity of those who tested positive for COVID-19. Is that why the corn stalk was taken out? Did it know too much? You can hear all the facts on my new podcast with my special guest, Concordia College mascot, Colonel Cobb. He knows everything. A woman who had been pronounced dead was found breathing at a Detroit funeral home. Turns out she wasn't dead, just really, really bored. And speaking of being really, really bored, that's all for Sketchworks NewsBrake. We'll be back next week, and we hope you are too. I'm Brian Troxel. Say hi to your mom for me. Oh, tell her it's my birthday next week. And I am liking her gift already.
I wonder how many more of these I could eat. Only one way to find out. God, my life is sad. They should really make these so you don't get the cheese on your fingers. I mean, that's annoying. Hey Alexa, remind me to write a letter to Frito-Lay telling them to change the Doritos formula.
Hey, thanks for checking us out. Make sure you subscribe. We post a new video every Tuesday, and click that notification bell so you can join our notification squad. Am I doing this right? Is this how they do it? Too old for this.